Even as I sit down here and I record this video, I am worried about what people are going to say when they see my videos come on. As I think about posting content to social media again, I am worried about what people are going to say in the comment section, because somehow I always end up on these posts with such visceral, mean comments. And I'm like, how could someone even say something about somebody like this in the comment section? On top of that, I recently learned that I have this deep need for, for external validation. This need for people to, I don't know, to not think about me this way or to think about me that way, to view me in a certain light, to appreciate certain things about me, and if you're somebody who struggles with what people think of you, you're probably also somebody who struggles with external validation, is that you don't want people to look at you negatively. All of this to let you know that you are not alone. You're not the only one out there who's struggling with this fear of judgment and fear of what people are going to think of you. But here are a couple of things that are helping me move forward regardless of that fear of judgment. It's helping me sit down, shoot this video, and I'm going to edit and put this video on the internet. The first thing I did to get moving with action is I started to think of where this is coming from. Like, exactly where is this fear of what people think is coming from? And as I thought about it, I realized it comes from like my childhood, where I really just wanted to make sure that my dad was happy and pleased with me. Like, I always seek my dad's validation, because I felt like he was the parent that stayed, he was the present parent. Because I come from like a single parent home. I was raised by my dad only and my three other siblings. So it just felt like, okay, this is the parent that stayed. I want him to be happy. I want him to be proud of me. I want all of these things, right? And so that's just kind of been a thing. I didn't even know was there, but it's there. And then as I continue to grow up, I just always cared, like, I don't want to be, like this other parent. I want to be seen in this light. I want people to look at me this way. And on top of that, I would see all of these women who I admire so much, and I'll just think to myself, this is how I want to be when I'm older. Like, this is how I want people to perceive me. And then I'll start trying to act in that manner, like the way I want people to see me, the way I want them to perceive me, right? And so over time, it's just a need for external validation, for someone to say, I'm proud of you, for someone to say you're doing such a great job, for someone to say, I look up to you, and all of these other things. And we're all human beings. Like, we all need some kind of external validation. But I really dug in to understand where that's coming from. Like, what is the root of this fear of judgment, of this need to come off a certain way to people, of this need to care so much about what people think about me. So that's the first thing that I would recommend that you do, is just think about, like, sit down, take a piece of paper and pen, or like a notepad or whatever, and just ask yourself, why do I feel so much fear of judgment from people? Why am I so scared of what people think? And just start writing down the thoughts as they come to you. Don't try to edit your thoughts. Don't try to question your thoughts. Just write them as they're coming to you. The first thing will come to mind, and then ask yourself, why? So where is this coming from? Who gave this? Who passed this on to me? The reason why this is so powerful is because at the end of the day, a lot of our beliefs, a lot of our attitudes towards things are often passed on to us. They don't belong to us. It's passed on to us from family, from friends, from peers, from organizations like churches or schools or groups that we belong to. And because we are so young when these things are passed on, we don't really have the capacity to question them. The second thing that I did is, when I am 80 and frail, like, would their opinions matter? The truth is, it won't. It really won't. In the larger scheme of things, their opinions, they're not going to make my life any better. Does it really serve me in the long term? It doesn't. And so when I thought about it that way, it was so much easier for me to just say, I'm going to do the thing regardless of this fear, because I know in the long term it's not going to serve me. Think about your life. Think about when you're 80. Do you really think that holding yourself back from doing the thing that you know deep down you want to do, that's going to serve you, is going to help you become the person that you want to become, is going to help you create the life that you want to create? Most likely not. It's the same thing with me. I know it's not going to do that, so why would I stop myself from taking action? The third thing I did was I really thought about what I fear the most. So it's the question I'm going to pose to you, is like, what do you fear the most? Regret or rejection? For me, it's regret. It's the idea that I would be laying down on my sickbed and thinking, damn, I really wish I created content online for XYZ. Damn, I really wish I started a business regardless of how many times I've failed or what people think. Damn, I really wish, I really wish, I really wish. I don't want to be saying I really wish when I'm dying. I want to be saying, whew, girl, you lived a great life. You showed up in your full self, both in your careers, with your goals, in your family, in your relationships. Like, that's how I really want to feel about myself. Guaranteed, we're going to have areas in our lives that we have regrets about, but at the end of the day, like, don't you want to do as much as you can to reduce that? Research has shown that when you ask a lot of older people, what it is that they wish that they'd done the most, it's just that they wish they'd done what they really wanted to do without really caring what other people thought, and the regret not showing up and doing those things. So which one do you fear most, rejection or regret? Rejection, because if people see you in a certain light, they're not going to like you anymore, they're not going to want to hang out with you, or they're going to reject you, or just fear of regret. The next thing that I'm doing, I'm still learning how to do this, is to detach myself from the people who are like, oh, I'm so proud of you, oh, I think you're doing so great, oh, blah, 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 blah. All the positive feedback that I get, and also detach myself from all the negative feedback that I get. Because, I want people to say they're so proud of me. But, like, yes, that's nice to hear. Does it really help me achieve much if I'm continuing to look for that validation of you're so proud of me? No, like, I don't need people to be proud of me. I just want to be proud of myself. I want to look in the mirror and be proud of the woman, of the person that I am. When we tie our, sense of self-worth so much to, like, all the people who are proud of us and people who, are like, yes, we're doing awesome, we are essentially still living our life being worried or concerned about what people think of us. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, I've overcome this myself. No, like, I still really want my dad to be proud of me, and I want my husband to be proud of me. But there's still that part of me that knows, if I'm going to win this need for external validation, if I'm going to win this fear of judgment that I have, then I need to detach myself, both from those who are like, I love you, I'm so proud of you, you're awesome. I need to detach my sense of self-worth from that validation, as much as I need to detach my sense of self-worth from the negative comments from people saying they don't want to work with me anymore, they don't like who I've become, because I am now moving in my authenticity. I am now doing the things that I want to do with my life. So it's almost like you need to be able to be neutral. Yay, they love me, yay, they don't love me. Whichever one, that's okay. As long as I'm proud of, like, who I am in the world, then that's fine. Like, that's the approach that I'm taking when it comes to validation. And it's a very, very, very difficult approach to take. The next thing that I'll mention is denying yourself opportunities to act in ways where you could gain that validation, where you could get, manage what people think about you. I'll give you an example. It's something that I got that a friend of mine got. Mine is smaller, hers is so much larger. And I remember just thinking to myself, oh, I don't want this person to think that I don't have enough, or like I don't belong on her level, or I don't want her to think, XYZ of me. And I'm like, I had to stop myself, like, girl, slow down. Like, we are not going to make purchasing decisions or buy things just because we want to impress, just because we want them to think of us as, oh, we have, just because we're trying to, like, portray a certain image of ourselves. We're not going to go and buy something. And you know what I did? I decided to deny myself the opportunity to buy that thing. Guaranteed, I can afford to buy this thing if I wanted to buy it like yesterday, but I decided I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to invest that money into buying that thing. I was doing it because I cared so much about how she thought of me. I wasn't doing it because I really wanted it for myself, right? I was doing it for that, fear of judgment, and also that need for external validation. So if you're anything like me, what I would recommend is deny yourself the opportunity to get that validation you're looking for. The minute you feel yourself trying to do something for validation, stop yourself. Just like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to take this action because we're trying to get people to like us, or because we really want to be seen a certain way. No, denying yourself those opportunities, you're strengthening your ability to take action without a fear of judgment. The last thing that I would mention is talking to yourself. Sometimes I talk to myself like I'm a child. I just sit down, I reflect as the thoughts are going through my head. I'm like, is this really what I'm thinking? Wow, okay. Is talk to yourself. And the reason why this is so good is because it creates room for you to get more and more self-aware of what's going on here. And let me tell you, you're not always going to like the things you learn about yourself. I know I haven't. Like, there are things I've come to learn about myself from just talking to myself. I'm like, shit, you have issues. Something is not right with you mentally, girl. We need to fix you. Um, real quick, we need to work on this, okay? Like, but that level of self-awareness makes it so much easier for you to step into the shoes of the person that you want to be, who you want to be proud of, because you can understand, the current weaknesses that you have. You can understand the areas that you need to improve on, because you're being that self-aware, radically self-aware with yourself, right? You're really leaning in to learn the truth about who you are. So question everything, listen to your thoughts, reflect on your intention. Why do I want to get this? Why do I need this? Why am I trying to do this? Why am I avoiding this? It brings up all of these parts of you that you didn't even know was there, and go into this constant why with yourself, because then you could really understand where something is coming from, what's triggering something, how you can show up better in a specific situation. So this is just some of the things that I'm doing myself as I continue to work through fear of what people would think of me, fear of judgment, and I really continue to work through that need for external validation from other people, and that need to people please, to come off a certain way. These are just a couple of things that I'm working on. In full transparency, I am not 100% like, I don't care what people think about me. That's not true. I'm a human being. Of course I care. I'm just doing the work so that I don't allow that fear control my actions. I don't allow that need for validation, that need for praise, that need for people to like me. I don't allow it control what I do, how I show up, all of those things. They don't get in the way. I hope this video helps you. Thank you for watching. Bye.